Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and if you watched me the other day, you know that I said that at my show this last weekend, we sold a lot of stuff, and one of those things was quite a few pair of hair sticks, so that I was going to need another 2 or 3 sets of hair sticks to feel that I had enough for my Renaissance Festival this next weekend. So I've got 3 sets designed, and let's turn down and we'll work on them. Okay, for this first set, we're going to have silver. I have everything we need here in this little pile, and here's some, we're going to use some Butterscotch Imperial Topaz SoftFlex. Now, I think this particular color may be discontinued. Maybe not. No, there you have a brown, so this is probably it. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to put this pretty little swirly heart at the bottom. Then we're going to have one of these AB red ones, a ball spacer, one of the squares, ball spacer, this guy, now this is going to be as long as I would want to make these. I usually use about 5 beads and a charm in my hair sticks, so this is it. 5 beads and a charm. So that's what it's going to look like. It has a jump ring to hold the top, and we have 2 crimp tubes, one for either side. So we will need to get some line out, and then we'll get started. So we want to get out enough line to do this row, plus an inch or 2 for either side, so that we don't have to fight the when we're crimping it. So we'll just cut a length off here, put this aside till we get to the second one. First thing we want to do is put on our charm. So we'll put a crimp tube on, put the charm through, and put the crimp on. Okay, make sure it's not twisted up. Get our crimping pliers in the divot, because these have a magical crimper. Turn, 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 and turn. Okay, that looks pretty tight. It is. So now we're just going to go up the line as far as these beads are concerned that I have laid out here. So we'll go with this red. This is a red AB, so it has a sort of pink tinge to it, so I don't mind putting it together with these other beads, especially since the brown one also has some red swirls in it. Okay, ball spacer, go over the double line. There we go. Now, when you put the second crimp on, you got to make sure that your line is still inside your beads, because sometimes it will slip out. Now see, that's plenty long enough. If I wanted it a little shorter, it could be, obviously, but I wouldn't want it any longer than that, because this is, you know, this is going to stick in your hair bun. So no, I don't think I'd want it any larger than this. So go through this ball spacer, baby. There we go. Now, see what I meant about keeping your string in? If it's not going to stay in your beads, let's just clip it off. So then back up here, pull this so that we get this at a nice length. A little bit bigger than I want. There we go. Now you need to give just a little bit of a gap between your last bead and your crimp tube because, well, it won't, your crimpers, or anyway your magical crimpers, won't go all the way down there because they have that divot and you have to give it room for your plier to get in there. So here's this one done. As soon as we clip this, well, I shouldn't say it's done because we have to still hook it to its stick, but there's the bead strand done. Now in order to hook this to the stick, we just open up this jump ring that I have right here. This is a medium-size oval jump ring. And I believe this one is actually stainless steel. Onto here, onto our stick. Now I try to drop my stick onto the mat to keep it from fighting me with the jump ring. So that has always been really helpful because you don't have the weight of it pulling your stick towards whatever. So there's our first one all finished. So let's really quickly finish up the second one. So there is set number one finished. Now we'll get out some different wire because these ones are probably going to use green wire because they both have flowers and leaves in them. So let's put these sort of to the side here. We'll change this butterscotch wire. Now we're going to use, I think, this color. Now it doesn't have a name on it because I think, if I remember right, when I purchased this, it was a closeout item. Because it was slightly the wrong color. I believe it was supposed to be chrysoprase. But it doesn't matter. It still works and it's a pretty color. So we're going to drop this set out. This is the set number 2. And this one has little, I'm going to have little cows' heads on the bottom. Now, these beads, most of them came from SoftFlex's design kit Sunset Splendor. I had a few left, so I used those. Though the pendant here is from Bead Box Bargains. All of these pieces are from Bead Box Bargains on this one. So what we're going to do is let's get this halved out. One more over here. Okay. Well, maybe I should have kept that one jump. Oh, nope, there it is. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to take the little cow is going to be our charm at the bottom. Then we're going to have a leaf, this little blue flower, and of course the spacers will be going in between. This pave, the blue flower again, and the leaf. So that's what this one's going to look like with its spacers in between. So let's cut some wire and get started on our first one here. We'll put this stuff for the second one somewhat aside so it's not in our way. And cut some line. Now, about the length of the stick is usually good. unless you've got an extra long one. So set it aside. Now I cut this one shorter than the other ones, as you can probably tell, so we may end up having to be a little more careful with it, but that's all right. We can manage. So we'll put our little cow head charm on here. Isn't he cute? I think these are all gone now, though, unfortunately, but so we'll crimp this little guy onto here. Test, he seems to be doing good. So we'll drop our maple leaf down on here, facing down. Now I'm going to cut this wire because I'm not sure if that little blue flower would take both strands. Looked to have a little extra clay right there, so I just cut it off. I was afraid if I left that little bit of extra clay that what would happen would then hold the spacer from going all the way down. So there we go. There's our first strand. Isn't that pretty? And now we'll get our crimp on and then get it onto its stick. Okay, go through the maple leaf. Let's get our crimp out of our way so we can maneuver a little bit better with our maple leaf, as it doesn't seem to want to take both strands in this one, which is strange since the other one took it very easily. Now, since it's through, I just got it through, but it's a little tough. I'm going to take my pliers, grab the end, then we'll work it back down. Pull on the pliers again. Work it back down again. Come on, you. Now, last pull with the pliers. Okay. Now we'll get our crimp up enough to get our crimping pliers in. Crimp. Cut the excess wire off. Now we'll take our pliers and grab our jump ring there. Now I could have used either gold or the bronze for this because the sticks are bronze, but all the other bits and pieces are gold. I'm using bronze because it's going to be closest to the stick. And there's our first one with our little cow done. Isn't it cute? So now we'll bring the other things over here and we'll get them done quickly. And there we have set number 2 with our little cow at the bottom and our pave in the middle. So there's set 1, set 2. And next we're going to start working on set 3. So our sticks. And our beads. Oop. It's this little flower. Okay. Oh, one of our daisy spacers is still inside. There we go. So now what we're going to do with this one, we're going to use this same chrysoprase. We're going to put this heart down at the bottom. This little flower is going to be on the bottom here. Hopefully 2 lines will go through it. If not, we'll have to cut it at the crimp. Then we're going to have one of the leaves on either side. That's one of our crimps. And of course our jump ring for the top. And 4 daisy spacers for in between the beads. So this is this side, this is this side. So we'll get out some more line, cut a length, and get started on this first one of the 3rd set. Now these are done exactly the same as we've been doing over here with our crimp tube, our charm, and it being at the bottom. Now if you didn't want to put a charm at the bottom, just put a bead strand. You could do that, though of course then you need to have something at the bottom of your bead strand to so your line can turn. Well, you don't have to. You could crimp, double it up like this and crimp it, and then just cut the whole thing off at the bottom, all the wire off at the bottom, to just leave the crimp bead there. But if I'm not going to put a charm in, I prefer to put like a little ball spacer, a small ball spacer down there, and or a seed bead, and just wrap around it like it was like a stop bead. So there's our little heart on. Now we'll see if 2 strands will go through this little pink bead. If not, then we will cut it off right there. Oop, oop, oop. Come here, you don't get to escape. Okay. It is going to go through. It's going to fight me a little bit, but it is going to go through. Now this is one of those instances, once you get it to a certain point, if you can see the line coming through, you can grab hold of the line with your pliers. This one was going through so well, just difficult, and now it's fighting me the rest of the way coming through. Come on, baby, you're almost to the place where I can grab you. There you are. So we'll grab hold of this second wire here and pull it up tight. Now I'm going to trim off the end where I just got it with the pliers, because on the other side it won't matter because we're going to cut it off anyway. But on this side, if you get your wire a little squished, or the end a little squished or frayed, then it's going to give you problems putting the other beads on. As I said, all of these beads, every single one of them, came from Bead Box Bargains. They have some really nice things. Now, sometimes they don't have a lot of the really nice things and they sell out. So there's what we're going to look like. Now we're going to put our crimp tube on and turn through here. I'm going to get my crimp tube up a little higher. So it's just my little pink flower I'm fighting with here to try and get the 2 lines through. Come on, baby. I think it's more or less saying I'm not going to go on, because now it doesn't even want to come back off. It's definitely not through there. Okay. So what we're going to do, since it didn't want to go through, though it was looked like it was getting pretty close, but it wasn't showing itself, so we're just going to bring the line down like you would normally. Get your stuff situated here. This needs to come down just a hair's breadth more. And then we're going to just crimp this baby right here. Well, no, we're not, because it's obviously it had slid down. Now, when I do the second one, I will again try and get through the flower, but if it's fighting me like this one was, I'm not going to bother. Okay, now we're going to crimp this baby. And since it wouldn't go through this flower, what we got to do is we got to take our blush cutters and we've got to get as close to that bead as we can, or the tube, and trim it off. So there is our first one done. Well, no, it's not done. We have to put it on its stick, then it will be done. There, number 1 is done now. Now we'll just need to quickly do number 2. So we'll get a length of wire out for number 2. And get knit it together. And there we have set number 3, all finished. So we have 1, 2, 3 sets of hair sticks. Aren't those pretty? Let's put wire away. 1 with the flowers and the heart, 2 with the flowers, the pave and the little cow, and 3 with the heart and the beads, the leftover beads from SoftFlex's Sunset Splendor. Like I said, the beads on this one are from SoftFlex's Sunset Splendor. The rest of them are from Bead Box Bargains. All of them, including the spacers, are from Bead Box Bargains, as well as the pendants and the spacers on this one. The hair sticks I get from a Etsy shop called DIY Supply, Lanza Supply, and aren't those gorgeous? Hope you enjoyed making all these beautiful ones with me. So there we are, our 3 sets of hair sticks. Now this is the last one we just finished with the flowers and the hearts at the bottom. Aren't those pretty? They go in your hair, of course, like so. I like these. I think they're very, very pretty. So that was the last set we made, number 3. This was our middle set we made, number 2, with the little cows down here at the bottom and the pave in the middle. And the first set we made with the pendant from Bead Box Bargains as well, but the beads are from SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit to Sunset Splendor. So there's our 3 sets of hair sticks. Weren't those pretty? Hope you enjoyed making those with me. I think they turned out very, very nice. I'm pleased with them. So I hope you are too. We'll see you later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. Bye-bye.